Okay, good morning everyone. I am Saraswati Pandey, Professor Saraswati Pandey. Today we are going to learn about three-phase, single-phase and three-phase AC circuits. So to generate a single phase AC circuit, we need to keep a conducting coil in a uniform magnetic field, and then we need to rotate that coil either in anti-clock or clockwise. By that rotation, we get an alternating signal, that is AC signal, some like this wave, or we can place the conductor and we can rotate the magnet in a clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. In both the ways, AC signal is generated due to induced EMF in the conducting coil. Now the parameter which are associated with the single phase are amplitude. Amplitude is the maximum value, that is, this value is the amplitude. Whenever a signal is alternating, it reach two times the maximum value, that is one in the positive side and another one in the negative side. Then the second parameter associated with the AC signal is the instantaneous waves. Instantaneous means any value at any time instance which we get in the alternating wave is known as instantaneous value. Then frequency is the if you can see this, for particular this cycle, it takes one up and one down. This one up and one down is of the waveform is the one cycle. The number of cycle is being taken by the alternating waves in 1 second is known as frequency. And the waveform is this positive and negative oscillation of the wave is known as waveform. Now the AC wave, if we apply an AC signal to the resistance, we get current as Vm sine omega t by R. So this Vm by R is known as Im, that is the maximum value of the current. If we apply a voltage of V equals to Vm sine omega t, we get the current Im sine omega t. If you can see, the phase of the voltage and current is the same in both. The phase of the current and voltage is same, so we can say in resistive circuit the voltage and current are in phase. Now what is power? Power is nothing but it is a product of your instantaneous voltage and instantaneous current is the instantaneous power. So if we multiply, we get this, and after solving this, we get Vm Im by 2 minus Vm Im cos 2 omega t by 2, and we know over a cycle the value of this component is 0, so we get the maximum value of instantaneous power is Vm Im by 2. Now, if we apply the alternating voltage to inductive coil, what we are going to get? We know if we apply a voltage, the current will start flowing in the inductor, and due to this flow of current, magnetic field is generated, and due to the magnetic field, the EMF is induced in the circuit, and this EMF counters the applied voltage. And as this induced EMF is always going to be equal and opposite to the applied voltage, so the induced EMF is equal and opposite to the induced voltage. Now, when we solve this particular derivative through particular integration, we are going to get the value of current, that is Im by omega L sine under bracket sine omega t minus pi by 2, means we can say the whatever is the current in the inductive circuit always lag by voltage by pi by 2. So this is the difference. In resistive, the current and voltage are in phase, and in inductive circuit the current is lagging behind the voltage by pi by 2. And this is the power. As you can see, one is positive, another is negative. If you will take the product of voltage and current, you are going to the value over a cycle is going to be 0. So the active power for inductive circuit is 0. Now what will happen if we apply the voltage to the capacitive circuit? When we apply the voltage to the capacitive circuit, we know the charge on the capacitance is Q equals to CV, and the current is nothing but it is the time differential of charge with respect to time. So when we apply the value of, when we put the value of Q in this equation, we get some value that is I equals to omega C V M cos omega t, and we know that the denominator of the denominator is nothing but numerator. So when we substitute, we get the value of I is equals to Vm by XL sine omega t plus pi by 2. So we can conclude that whatever current, whatever voltage is there, analog voltage is there in the circuit, the current in the capacitor, or the current in the capacitor is going to lead the voltage by pi by 2. So we can conclude that in resistive, the current and voltage are going to be in phase. In inductive circuit, we can say that voltage is going to lead the current, and in inductor, in capacitance, we can say that the voltage is lagging the current by pi by 2. And similarly, like inductor, the power is going to be negative over a cycle, it is going to be 0. So we can conclude the active power in the circuit is 0. Now, as we are deal with single phase is generated when you rotate a conducting coil in a uniform magnetic field, or you place a conductor and rotate the magnet either clockwise or anti-clockwise. You are going to get the alternating signal, that is positive then negative, and this positive and negative is going to repeat themselves at a particular interval of time. Therefore, we name them as a alternating signal. But alternating signal is not sufficient for heavy machineries, and because they are get interrupted 150 times in a second. So to deal with this type of problem, we need we need three-phase AC signals. These three-phase AC signals are generated by taking three coils, conducting coils, and all these three coils are placed by an angle difference of 120 degree, as you can see in this picture. And when these conductors are rotated in a constant magnetic field, three AC signals are generated, and you can see, if this is a reference line, you can see you can see there's these three signals will never going to attain a zero value at any particular time. If one is 0, another is going to have some other value. If another is 0, some other wave is going to have another value. So we can conclude that you are going to get uninterrupted power supply by using three-phase AC signals. So in this, as these coil are of same length, same number of turns they are having, we can say the magnitude of all these waves are same, but the phase difference is of 120 degree between these coil. Now we can also conclude from this that if we are these coils are basically inductance, and we know in inductance the current lag behind the voltage by some angle, that is, so we can, in the phasor diagram also, we can show that these are the three voltage phase that are apart from each other by an angle of 120 degree, and we can say the current is also lagging the voltage by an angle, let's say phi, and all these current are also at an angle equally displaced, that is an angle of 120 degree. So we can generate three-phase AC signal by rotating the three coils connected to a common point in a constant magnetic field. We get three waveforms which are never zero at a single point of time. And the phasor, in the phasor also we have explained that the phasor voltage phase is differing from each other by an angle of 120 degree, and the current is also equally distanced by an angle of 120 degree, and at all time you can see the magnitude of all these waves are same. If you will take positive or negative, the magnitude is always going to be same, but the phase angle is going to differ. So these three windings, the three-phase signal can be obtained either using either by star connection or by delta connection. So this star and delta, before proceeding with the star or delta connection, I will like to explain you phase sequence. When you generate three waves, one will attain maximum value, and after that second wave is going to attain the maximum value, and after that the third wave is going to attain the maximum value, and thereafter first wave is again going to attain the maximum value. So this is the sequence when one is achieving and after that another is achieving the maximum value, is known as phase sequence. And in the phase sequence we can say that all the three waves are differing with the phase angle of 120 degree. If this is a three winding connected in a star connection, the phases are these winding. The voltage across this phase is known as phase voltage, and these phase voltage are differing by the angle of 120 degree. If if ER is the induced voltage across the winding R, it will be Em sine omega t, and the voltage induced in Y winding will be Em sine omega t minus 120, and the voltage induced in the winding B will be Em sine omega t minus 120 degree. That is the difference of angle 120 degree. So there are two types of connection. That is, one is star and another is delta. The one which I have shown was the star connection, and we know that in star connection the phase voltage differ by an angle of 120 degree. Now, as I can explain you, this is the phase voltage. That is the voltage across the phase is known as phase voltage. The voltage between the two lines, or if this is a phase, the line that is continuing that is coming to connect it to the load is known as line conductors. So every phase is going to have one line conductor, and as this is a star connection, all the three windings are connected to a common point that is known as neutral point. Whenever we measure the voltage between any two line conductor, this is known as line voltage, and whenever we measure the voltage across the phase is known as phase voltage. The current which is flowing through the phase is known as phase voltage, and the current which is flowing through the line is known as line current. So this is the some basic definitions of your star connection. Now, as you can see, again in this circuit, if you will take the path N to this orange line, if you will consider the current flowing through this this N to this particular end point is the same, because these are connected in series. So I can conclude that whatever is the phase current in this particular winding is going to be equal to the line current in this particular winding. So we can conclude that the line current and phase current for star connection are same. Now we are going to find out the relation between phase voltage and line voltage. So we can draw the phasor diagram of the voltage. So the phase voltages are differing from each other by an angle of 120 degree. If this is a origin point and we are showing all these are the positive magnitude of the phase voltages, I can also extend this line and I can show the negative part also, as we have drawn over here. Now the negative part is showing you if we extend the negative line, we can see that clearly that the phase angle between the two positive is going to get bisect. If this is an angle of 120 degree, it is going to bisect by an angle of 60 degree. Now consider any negative vector, that is negative part of phase voltage Vy and the positive of Vr. We can find out the resultant using vector analysis. And how we are going to do this? By using parallelogram rule. So the diagonal which you will draw in this parallelogram is going to be Vr, and the value of this Vr can be find it out. As you can see, this Vr, how we are going to give the name Vry. We have given this name Vry because this Vry is obtained by the two vectors, that is Vr minus Vy. So we can give the name Vry, and we know in the line voltage is also given the name Vry. Now using vector analysis, I can say that Vr square plus Vy square plus 2 times VR plus V in product of Vy cos 60, because the angle between the two vector is 60 degree, is going to give you the relation. And considering all this, all the star connection is at balance condition. Balance condition means what? When your phase voltages are equal in magnitude and differ by equal angle, and the phase current is also equal in magnitude and differ by an equal angle, that condition is known as balance condition. Using that balance condition, we can say that the resultant VRY is under root VR square plus Vy square plus 2 times the product of VR Vy into cos phi, and the cos phi is the angle between two vectors, that is 60 degree. And when we will solve this whole, we know that VRY is the balance condition, so VRY is equals to Vy is equals to phase voltage. So we are going to get the relationship is that root 3 times V under root Vy, that is the phase voltage. So we can conclude over here that the line voltage is root 3 times the phase voltage. Now, what is the power consumed in the phase voltage is 3 times the phase voltage into the power consumed in the star connection is 3 times the power in each phase. So, power in each phase is phase voltage across phase voltage into phase current into the angle, that is cos phi. And we know this phase voltage is is equals to line voltage by root 3, and if we will solve, we are going to get the phase voltage is equals to root 3 times line voltage into line current into cos phi. Similarly, we can we can generate the alternating waves using delta connection, and this delta connection is having three phases. Again, the phase voltage across the phase is known as phase voltage, the current flowing through the phase is known as phase current, and the current flowing through the line is known as line current. And when we measure the voltage across any two line is known as line voltage. So this is the circuit diagram, it is shown to you. Now now if you will see, if consider this is the one branch, consider one branch R and Y. The voltage across this branch is VR, and the voltage across this terminal is VBR. Means we can say the phase voltage and the line voltage for a three-phase delta connection is the same. Now we need to find the relationship between the line current and the phase current. So for that, we need to draw the phasor diagram. We know the angle, the current are also displaced by equal angles. So if we draw the phasor diagram, if this is a IB, it is having 120 apart IY and 120 apart IR. Now if we will draw the negative side of all these waves, we are going to get that the negative, the two vectors, positive vectors, are going to be bisect by an angle of 60 degree. Now if we consider IRB and IRY, that is a phase phase voltages, positive and negative, and using similar parallelogram rule, we can evaluate the resultant current, and this is a positive RY and this is a negative RY. R is common, so we can name that this resultant is IR. Now using vector analysis, we can again solve